Good morning, kiddos, and thank you for being with us today on this wonderful Monday, June morning. We are so glad that you're here with us again today. So we're going to start off with our calendar routine. So let's take a look at our calendar. Quite a few days have passed since we've been together. The last time we were together was Thursday, the 25th of June. So let's count from the 25th to today. Today is Monday, so we've had many days in between. Let's go ahead and take a look. So 25, then we had 26 was Friday. Then we had the weekend, didn't we? Saturday and Sunday. And Mrs. Obenchain starred those days last week because they're kind of special days, aren't they? So 26, 27, 28, 29. Today is the 29th of June. Let's go ahead and go back and count those again. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Today is Monday, June 29th. All right. Let's go ahead and add to our growing pattern on our calendar. The last time we were together, the 25th of June on Thursday, got a green triangle. Do you remember what our pattern is like? We started with a green triangle, a red circle, another red circle, a green triangle. We start the pattern over again. So, if we got a green triangle on the 25th, what continues our pattern on the 26th? That's right. It's going to be a red circle. And since our pattern goes triangle, circle, circle, Saturday the 27th also gets a red circle. What comes next? We start the pattern over again, don't we? So Sunday the 28th gets a green triangle. What always comes after a green triangle? A red circle. That's right. And that brings us back to today, Monday, June 29th. So today, if today is Monday, ooh, good catch. Today is Monday. What day was yesterday? The day before today? It was Sunday, wasn't it? Yesterday was Sunday. And what about tomorrow? What day of the week will it be tomorrow? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? Tomorrow will be Tuesday, and we'll fill in the date for Tuesday. All right, next, let's go ahead and fill up our frames to show our day. So, last time, remember, we stopped back here at the 25th, and you can see that we have 25 dots on our frames. 10, 20, 25. So, if today is the 29th, can you predict what our frame will look like after we add? What do we know about 9 when it's on our 10 frame? When we have 9 on our 10 frame, only one square is empty. So that's a good way to know how many we'll be filling in. We can also count, right? Just like we counted our days. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So just like you predicted, we have our 3 10 frames all full except for just one square, and that shows 29. All right, boys and girls, so let's think about today's number, 29, and do some writing about it. Let's see. Try that one. Okay, great. So, 29, what are some ways we can show 29? How could we write it? Could we write it as a word? Let's try that. Let's see. Ooh, that might be just a little bit too large. Come on, pen. There we go. So we can write 29 as a word, right? It's a 2-digit number, so it's going to be represented with 2 words. First, 20, right, which is the first digit in 29, talks about how many tens. Here are our 2 tens for 20. So we write 20, and then how many ones do we have left over? 9. So we write 9, N-I-N-E. Very good. Okay, what are some other ways we could represent 29? We've been doing tallies. We could do some tallies, couldn't we? Let's go ahead and do that. So I think I'll put our tallies right here today. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What do I do when I get to 5? I slash across, right? So 5. Now I have 2 5s, that's 10. Another 5, 15. There's our 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. I need another 5. 25. That was the last day we met. Now we need to get to 29. 26, 27, 28, 29. Do I put a slash across? No, I don't do that until I get a 5. And here we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Not quite another 5. What's another way that we could represent 29? I'm thinking about our frames too. And so if we grouped our tallies together, could we get a number sentence that kind of matches our frames? Let's try it. So what if I put these 2 tallies together? What does that give me? 5 and 5, 10. And what if I group these 2 together? Another 5 and 5, 10. And then how many did I have here? 5 and 4 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 if we group those together. You know what I just noticed? Silly me. I did not write our number of the day in the middle. So now we've shown 29 with words, with tallies, with an addition sentence. What about with a subtraction equation? I'm thinking about our 10 frames again. If our 10 frames were full, how many would we have? 30. But we don't have 30. How many are missing? Just 1. So I could also show 29 as 30 minus 1, and that equals 29. We have one more way, and that's thinking about our hundreds chart, right? So, do you see 29 on our hundreds chart here? Where is that? It's kind of over here on the right side, right, with our special numbers, our special 10 numbers. So here's 29. So what comes right after 29? What's the special 10 number that comes? We're going to switch families from the 20s to the 30s. That's right. So 30 is what comes next. So what comes right before 29 then? Sometimes I think about what comes right before 9? 8. So what comes right before 29? 28. That's right. And then we can think about our special jumps of 10, right? Our special rule for the hundreds chart. So if I jump from 29 down to the very same spot on the next row, I've made a jump of 10. So what is 10 more than 29? Did you see it on the chart? It was 39. If I jump up to the same spot on the row above, I've jumped back 10. So what is 10 less than 29? That's right, it's 19. Nice job. All right, so that is our number of the day today, 29. Let's take a look at our counting jar next. Let's see how many in our counting jar. Today we're counting, these are fun, they're kind of like jewels we're counting. All right, so let's get them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Very good. Okay, so we have 19 jewels here on the table. Another number that ends in 9. If we had one more, how many would we have? That's right, we'd have 20. So, cool cats and kittens, you know what to do at home now, right? It's at home you're going to build your own collection. And if you're a kindergartner, you're going to build a collection, same as we counted today, 19. If you're a first grader, you're going to double that collection. 19 could be a little tricky to double. You know what I'm going to think about? 20. So if I had 20 and I doubled it, that would be 40. But I'm going to have 2 missing. So instead of 40, I'll have 39, 38. So if you are in first grade, you are going to make a collection of 38 and double that. And if you are in second grade, you're going to double the 38. And I'm thinking about that as 30 plus 30, 60, and 8 plus 8, 16. So that's going to make your collection 76. Kinder 19, first grade 38, second grade 76. All right. We have, I wanted to do just a little practice counting really quickly. Since we're working with numbers that end in 9, where's our column where all the numbers end in 9? Here it is, right? And we know right after the numbers that end in 9, we're going to switch over to 10, to the next family. So let's just practice a few of those. 9, 10, 11, 19, 20, 21, 29, 30, 31, 39, 40, 41, 49, 50, 51, 59, 60, 61. It's a good idea to practice these even forward and back. So I think we've run out of time for our riddle today, but we'll save it for tomorrow. It's a yummy one. It's about ice cream, and it's been really hot lately. So it'll be fun to think about ice cream when we come back together. We're going to turn it over now to Mrs. Obenshane, and she is going to
start with some counting.
Yes.
But I think I will clear our board. so that we have that taken care of. And then I'm going to change this over for what we're going to do next. All right. We are going to start with doing some more counting on the hundreds chart. Just like you guys were counting by ones across the families, or across the decade is what that's called, right? When you start at 9 and you go to the next family. But we're going to do some counting up and down on the hundreds chart now, which means that we're counting by tens. You guys practiced that on today's number, right? So count with me. Let's start at 3 and count by tens. 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, 53, 63, 73, 83, 93, and then 103, right? When we get past the 90s, then we get to the hundreds, 103. Let's go backwards. 103, 93, 83, 73, 63, 53, 43, 33, 23, 13, 3. Let's try down a different row. It follows a pattern. Do you notice the pattern? It's always the same last number that we're saying, and then the first number changes. The tens changes by 110 every time, right? So let's try fives, because sometimes we want to count 5, 10, 15. And this one, we're just counting by tens, starting at 5. 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 105. Let's go backwards too. 105, 95, 85, 75, 65, 55, 45, 35, 25, 15, 5. We could start at a different place too. We could start with 29, which was our number of the day today, right? Let's start with 29 and count by tens. If you feel really confident about this, try closing your eyes and seeing if you can just say the numbers without looking at our chart. We're going to start at 29, 39, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 109. And backwards, 109, 99, 89, 79, 69, 59, 49, 39, 29. Nice counting. It's a really good kind of counting for us to practice. And so if you want to get a little extra practice and you've downloaded one of our hundreds charts, then you could just try practice looking at it and saying it, and then flip it over or cover it up and try seeing if you can say it without looking at it, till you get to the place where you can just say those counting sequences without having to look at anything. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to do some of that same kind of counting, but we're going to use frames. And I have some frames that have some dots in them, and I have some frames that are completely full. So let's try this one. I think we tried this one on our thing, right? What is, let's see, we'll turn that light on. That might help a little bit. How many dots do you see there? There are 3 dots there, right? All right, so now we're going to add a full frame. So how many do we have now? I could see those much better earlier when I had these out. Maybe that got jumped a little bit. That'll get better? Okay. All right, so we have a 3, and then we have another full frame. So 10 and 3, how much is that? 13. So you can see this is the same kind of counting, right? 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, 53, 63, 73, there we go, now we can see it, 83, 93, All right, what if we count backwards now, just like we did there? We have 93, so if I take a 10 away, 83, 73, 63, 53, 43, 33, 23, 13, and back to 3. Let's start with a different number. What's on that frame? It's a full row and one more. So 5 and one more is how much? Exactly, 6. So there's 6 there. Let's try counting together now. 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, 86, 96. And what happens when I add one more? When we're in the 90s, we go to 100, don't we? 106, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and a 6. What if I add one more 10? 116, right. Let's go backwards. 106, 96, 86, 76, 66, 56, 46, 36, 26, 16, and 6. Let's try one more. We are going to start with a 5 and a 3 on our frame. And then I'm going to put another frame with it. So how much is that? A 10 and an 8. Exactly, that's 18. So we can start at different numbers just like we did up there, right? So we're going to go from 18 to what? 28, 38, 48, 58. What if I add two more 10s on our frames? We were at 58, 50, 60, 70, so that would be 78, 88, 98, 108, 118. All right. Sometimes in class, they ask you to put these kinds of jumps on a number line, and so that's what we're going to think about now. How could we show those jumps on a number line? So we're going to change things around a little bit here so I can write on this. Okay. All right. I think I managed to do it. See how big our pen is. That should be good. Okay, so let's put an empty number line on here. So when we have a number line with no numbers on it, it's called an empty number line, right? What did we start at? We started at 18. And then we jumped by 10s, didn't we? 28, 38, 48, 58. So these were all 10s because we were adding a new 10 frame. And then I added 2 frames, didn't I? So that was a jump of 20, a little bit of a bigger jump. And that got us to 78. And then we went back to adding jumps of 10. So we had 88, 98, 108, 118. So this could be a really nice tool when you're thinking about keeping track of your thinking when you're adding things in jumps, because you can just kind of show where you started and then record how you added to it. So we're going to think about that a little bit. with some number sentences. I'm going to move our calendar here. And I'm going to start with a little different number, but the jumping would be the same, right? What if we had 7 plus 10? How can we figure that out? That's a pretty easy one, right? It's like a full 10 frame and then another frame with 7. So that would equal 17. What if we took that 17 and we added another 10 to it? What would we have now? 27? How did you figure that out? Oh, I could just go 17, 27 because that's the way we've been counting. Or I could think about I have a 10 here and I have a 10 there, and 2 10s makes 20, and then a 27, right? Are you noticing any pattern that you can use with these problems? What if I had, this problem here? Could we use that problem and see a pattern here we could use? Could we do our same kind of counting? Let's see, 17, 27, 37, 47. Or I could start at the 30 and add a 10 to get 40 and add 7 more. What do I get? I still get 47, right? So I could think about 17, 27, 37, 47. Those are almost like jumps on my number line, huh? Or I could think about 30 plus the 10 from the 17 is 40, and then add my 7 back in. Let's do one more. What about that's a 47 we had, huh? And we're adding 40 to it. What ways do you see that we could do that? I'm going to give you just a minute to think about it in your head and see if you can mentally figure out how to add 47 and 40. What did you get? Did you get 87? How'd you do that? Can you think of a way? We could do it like this, right? 47, 57, 67, 77, 87, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. I could take 4 and 4, the 40s out of here, and those are a double. We've been working on doubles, haven't we? 4 and 4 is how much? 8. So 40 and 40 is 80. And then just put my 7 on there, right? 40 plus 40 equals 80. And then I just add that 7 on. Either way, we just want to look for the patterns in numbers when we're trying to do some adding, and that can help us figure things out mentally without even having to do any paper and pencil. Just thinking about what patterns do we see in the numbers and how could we put those numbers together. All right, I think we're about wrapped up. Are you ready to come back and read us a book?
I'm ready to read a story. And our story today is going to be about dominoes and adding. We did some work with dominoes last week, so I thought we'd just come back to it a little bit today.
I'm trying to get rid of this for you, so it's just not wanting to erase, though.
It's all right if it stays. Okay. Let's Carnish just get organized. Let me get a chair. Sit down and read with you all. Okay. I think we're ready. All right, kiddos. This book is called Domino Edition, and it is by Lynette Long, and it's a Charles Bridge book. These look familiar, don't they? We spent some time with these last week. So you can think about what you already know about dominoes and what we can learn. So learning to add is fun, especially when you use dominoes. Dominoes have two halves. Each half may have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 spots. That's if you have a special set called double 6. There are some sets that go higher than that. A domino can have 3 spots on one half and 0 spots on the other, or 2 spots on one half and 4 spots on the other, or even 6 spots on one half and 6 spots on the other half. Another double. Do you remember 6 and 6? We worked on it last week. 12. You're right. Here is a complete set of dominoes, those double 6 type we talked about. You can add the spots to find the total number of spots on each domino. So the dots on each half of the domino are like, I'm just going to move our vocabulary chart quickly. They're like our addends, aren't they? So addends are the two numbers we put together when we add to get a sum. So the dots on dominoes are kind of like our addends shown in dots. And we can find the total, and that's our sum. So let's look at some ways to make numbers on the dominoes. So if we add the numbers on the top of this domino to the numbers on the bottom, what's the total? Pretty easy to see because you can't see it at all, can you? It's 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. This book is also a little bit like a puzzle. So can you find the domino on this page that has 0 spots? Again, it's pretty easy to see because there's nothing to see. There it is. If we add the spots on this domino, how many will we have? 1 plus 0 is 1. Our sum on that domino is 1. Can you find the domino that has a total of 1 spot on this page? There it is, right in the middle. 1 plus 0 is 1. Oh, this page has more than one way. Add the spots on these dominoes, and we're going to get 2, aren't we? How do we make 2 on these? We have 2 plus 0. That gives us 2. And we also have 1 plus 1, another double. The smallest double we can have, isn't it? And our total is 2. Where are the dominoes that have a total of 2 spots in this picture of a 2? Can you see them? I see the double right away. There it is, 1 plus 1. That makes 2. Do you see the other? Here it is, 0 plus 2 gives us 2. Oh boy, the numbers are getting bigger, aren't they? So if we add the numbers on these dominoes, what will we get on both? These are ways to make 3, aren't they? 3 plus 0 is 3, and 2 plus 1 is also 3. Can you find the dominoes that have a total of 3 spots on this page? 3 plus 0, there it is at the top. That makes 3. What's the other way? 2 plus 1. Very good. There's even more ways on this page. All of the dominoes on this page are adding up to what? 4, that's right. We have 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 2 plus 2 is 4. Doubles again. Can you find those dominoes in this 4 shape over here? Which dominoes add to 4? I see 3 and 1. Do you see another? I see 0 and 4. Where's our double? There it is, 2 plus 2. All of these dominoes have a sum of 5. Let's look at the ways to make 5. 5 plus 0 gives us 5. 4 plus 1 is another way. And 3 plus 2. I bet you knew all those because we've been working a lot on 5. Can you see the dominoes that add up to 5 in this 5 shape? There's 2 plus 3. And there's 5 plus 0. Where's that last way? Here it is. It's the very last domino, and it's 4 plus 1. What do the dominoes on this page add up to? Do you see one that you know right away? 3 plus 3 jumps out at me because it's our double. 3 plus 3 is 6. All of these dominoes add up to 6. 6 plus 0, 5 plus 1, 4 plus 2, and our 3 plus 3. All total 6. Where are dominoes that add up to 6 in our 6 shape here? Here's one, 6 and 0. We don't have to add anything to it, do we? There's our double, 3 plus 3. We know that makes 6. What's another way? 4, 5, 6. 4 plus 2, that's another way. And 5 plus 1 more gives us 6. Okay, the numbers are getting bigger on our dominoes. Our sums are growing because our addends are growing too, aren't they? All of these dominoes add up to, this is a number we haven't spent tons of time on. These all add to 7. So if we have 6 on the top and we add 1 more than 6 is 7, right? Or 5 and 2 more gives us 7, like when you put up 5 fingers and then 2 more fingers, that's 7. And also 4 plus 3 gives us 7. Can you see any of those over here in our 7 shape? I see 2 and 5, that's 7. Here's 4 and 3. And 6 plus 1 more, that's 7 also. What number do you think we'll make next? That's right, 8. We're going up by 1. So these all equal 8. I see one I know right away. I see 2 I know right away. A 5 plus 5 and 3 more makes 8. I see a double, 4 plus 4, that gives me 8. And also 6 plus 2 gives me 8. Do you see those over here in this 8 shape? There's our double of 4 plus 4. Here's 6 plus 2. What else? Think about hands. If we have 5, there it is, 5 plus 3. Now we're making 9. On these dominoes, there's 2 ways to make 9. Those ways are 6 and 3 more, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 5 and 4 more is 9. It's kind of like 5 plus 5, right? But just 1 less. 5 plus 5 is 10, so 5 plus 4 is 9. Can you find those dominoes that add up to 9 in our 9 shape here? Here's 5 and 4 more, so close to 10. But it's 9. And what else? Where's our other? 6 and 3. What number will we make after 9? 10. You're right. 2 ways to make 10 on these dominoes. Here's a way that we know very well. 5 plus 5, right? Just like when you hold up 2 hands full of all fingers up. 5 plus 5 is 10. And another way is 6 plus 4 more. Can you see those dominoes over here in our 10 shape? Now our dominoes are making the 2 digits for 10, 1 and 0. There's 6 plus 4 right at the top. Where's our double? Do you see it? Look down low. There it is at the bottom of our 1 in the number 10. Just a couple numbers left. How many here? If you're counting along with me, you'll know there's 11, right? We just did 10, now there's 11. How do we make 11? 6 and 5 more, right? And we might think about this one as if it was 5 plus 5, it would be 10, but it has 1 more, so it's 11. Can you see that 6 plus 5 over here? It's poking out right there on our second digit for 11, our second one. Last number is 12. We worked on 12 last week. We're making it here with 6 plus 6. Can you see 6 plus 6 in our 12. There it is, down at the bottom again. It's the domino with the most spots in this set. And here are all the sums that we made in all the different combinations. So I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking to you again about dominoes like last week. Last week we kind of ran out of time, didn't we? So, got some of the, I think I better take this down, maybe. Trusty old number grid. Okay. So, I've written down some of the equations that went with some of the numbers from the book. Not all of them. There were quite a few, right, at 12. Quite a few. So, we want to think about here some patterns we see on our chart. Just like in our book, each of our sums are growing by 1, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I notice when we look at the equations, guess what? One of our addends is also growing by 1 each time. Like, we can make 4 with 4 plus 0, 5 with 5 plus 0, 6 with 6 plus 0. Our first addend grew by 1 every time. Does it work when you're not adding 0? Let's jump around and see. Let's go to 7. So to make 7, we can add 5 plus 2. We can add 5 plus 3. Oh, that 2 grew up by 1. And to make 9, we can add 5 plus 4. The 3 grew by 1 more. So when we change the addends, we change our sum. So here, our sums are growing, and so is one of our addends in each equation. All right, the other thing that we had talked about was turning some of these around. So let's think about 5 for just a minute, right? So we've got different ways to make 5. 5 plus 0, right? We've also got 4 plus 1. And we've got, my cards are out of order, 3 plus 2. All of those ways make 5. But what if we flipped them around and thought about them this way? 0 plus 5. Does that still give us 5? It does. What if we flipped around 4 plus 1 and made it 1 plus 4? Does that still give us 5? It sure does. We just have to add more on if we work it this way, because we're starting with the smaller addend, 1. If we start with the 4, we only have to add on 1 more to get to 5. If we start with the 1, we have to add on 4 more. And we could do the same thing with 3 and 2. We could flip it around and make it 2 and 3. And we could turn around every one of these equations and they would work the same way, except for one type. Can you tell? Doubles. Because what happens if I flip around a double, like 2 plus 2? I'm going to switch the 2's around. It looks and sounds the same though, doesn't it? All right. Very good. So, practicing with tools like dominoes and frames can help us think about how numbers go together to make combinations. We can think about counting, or also using dominoes and frames can help us just start to know what some of those combinations lead up to or what they add up to without us even counting. And if we get a chance, we'll go ahead and we'll spend a little more time talking about how we can use dominoes to help us to do that, to figure out sums without having to count. And now we're going to turn it back over to Mrs. Obenshain.
Lucky for us that Miss Carnes already went over what makes 5, right? because the game that we're gonna play is Great Race for -5. We'll just get these out of our way, and we're gonna use this spinner over here. So actually we need to put this here.
Surely.
Get this chart out of our way. We've played this game before. It's the Great Race game. Does that look familiar to you? Remember how this game goes? We can use a spinner, and this one is an electronic one. You could make a spinner at home with 0 to 5 on it, or we could use dice. So we have lots of different ways that we could do this game. So we are going to play it here on the board. And what happens, you've done this one before, where you guys were making 5, right? So we rolled a number and we added what we needed to get with that to make 5. But the same combinations make 5, whether we're adding them together or taking them away, right? So if I have a full 5 frame and I take 2 away from it, how many do I have left on my 5 frame? 3, right? So 5 minus 2 equals 3. So we could do these same kind of equations with minus. Instead of adding, we could have 5 and be taking 2 away to get 3. And we can flip them around, just like Miss Carnes was talking about, right? If we have 5 and we take away 3, we're going to have 2. Those add-ins, for when you're adding, can be the same thing when you're doing subtraction. 5 minus 0 is going to leave us with 5. 5 minus 5 is going to leave us with 0, right? 5 minus 4 is going to leave us with 1. 5 minus 1 is going to leave us with 4. We've already done our 2's there, so we've already done those other combinations. So we're just going to play this same game, except for we're focusing on taking away instead of adding. So we're always going to start with 5, and then we're going to spin something that we can take away, and then that's the answer is what we'll move on the board. So let's see what I mean. I have 5, and I'm going to take away 1. So if I have 5 and I take away 1, how many do I have left? 4. So 4 gets to move on my board. It's not letting us write on it.
Sometimes it's just a little bit picky about how you touch it. It's a lot picky today.
Yeah.
Let's see. Could try the other pen.
Well, let me try the other pen.
Maybe.
Whoops.
Oh, maybe. Maybe not.
Why don't you try the other pen?
I've got it.
See if you can get it to work.
Okay.
Maybe
so,
she'll have the magic touch.
So what was Mrs. Obenshane's again?
I had 5 minus 1, and that equaled 4.
Let's see. No. Well, gee, guys.
Well, this is what we're going to do. If we've got some sticky notes somewhere up here, we did have some.
We could do that. I'm going to try once more. That is very strange. Maybe the blue isn't working. Close out the pen and reopen it, says our tech helper. Let's try it. Fingers crossed. We'll try it with the skinny one.
Hey, we've got it. So we had 5 minus 4. Nope, minus 1 equals 4.
All right.
All right, Miss Carnes' turn. She's going to roll with the dice.
This is so cool. Did you guys know that if you can make 5, you can subtract 5? That you already know all that? Wow, that's super cool. So I got a 3. So 5 minus 3, what does that leave me with? Leaves me with 2.
We could do it on our fingers, or we could do 5 minus 3 leaves you with 2. All right, let's roll again and see what we get. 5 minus 0 is 5. All right, I'm not taking anything away.
My turn. I was still thinking about dominoes. I got a 0. So if I have 5 and I take away 0, which means I take away none, that leaves me with 5. We both got the same one.
5 minus 4 leaves me with just 1. That's the opposite.
Okay, and this time I rolled a 2. So let's look at our chart. If I have 5 and I take 2 away, oh, I see that leaves me with 3. 3 is in the game. Hooray.
I got 0 again, so 5 minus 0 equals 5. The 5 is looking pretty good to be the winning number.
So this time I rolled a 3 again. So if I had 5 and I took away 3, 2 left. You got it.
If I have 5 and I take them all away, 0 is on the board.
I rolled a 1. So if I have 5 and I just take 1 away, how many are left? I could just count back, right? 5, 4. 4 are left.
Oh, I got the same thing. 5 minus 1 is 4.
And I rolled a 2, so I'm going to do 5, take away 2. I'm going to try to count back again. 5, 4, 3. 3 are left.
And I got a 3. So I'm going to try the same thing. 5, 4, 3. So 2 are left.
All right. This time I rolled a 1. So if I take 1 away from 5, that's it. I got 4.
Oh, I rolled the same thing. We're getting closer. Maybe 4 is going to be the winner.
4 might win. Okay, this time I got a 3. So think about 3. What goes with 3 to make 5? Oh, it's 2. So that means there's 2 left.
5 minus 2 leaves me with 3. We never quite seem to get there quick
We get
enough.
so close. I rolled a 3. If I have 5 and I take 3 away, what goes with 3 to make 5? 2. So if I take 3 away, that means there's 2 left.
And 5 minus 4 leaves me with that 1.
Okay. So I think we have time to keep playing a little bit
we
more.
have a little bit. We might make it.
So I rolled a 4. So if I have 5 and I take 4 away, that's a lot. I just have the 1 left. Okay. Big spin.
If I have 5 and I take away 3, that's what happens to be on my frame. What do I have left? 2. 2 is the winning number.
2 is the winner.
I did not think, I really thought that 5 or 4 was going to be the winner. Wow. So we finally got to the middle and one of the numbers won for one of our great race games.
Hooray.
So this game is on our website. You can download a copy of it and play this game or all the versions of it that we've been playing. It's nice because you can change it and play lots of different combinations with it. So we're going to just kind of review what we've done today. We've had a good day. We talked about our calendar and the date being June the 29th, Monday. I believe that you guys counted out 19 on your counting jar. So if you haven't already, paused the TV and made your own collection. When we're done here, if you're a kindergartner, you should make 19. See if you can find 19 things that you can count. Maybe pinto beans or noodles or pennies or just something you have lying around your house. If you're a first grader, try to make a collection of 38 things. If you're a second grader, try to make a collection of 76. You're going to have 7 tens in there, so that might be quite a lot, so pick something small. If you have some dominoes around your house, try playing some dominoes and doing some adding of the dominoes to see what you can get, because dominoes are sure a lot of fun. And also, we talked about practicing counting on our hundreds chart. So you could practice counting by tens or by ones on our hundreds chart. And so we would like to thank you for joining us today, mathematicians, with At Home at APS, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye, guys.